Welcome to the Viking Home Companion. This story is called Strange Trip. You know, me and the boys were out to Viking not too long ago, and we'd had a really successful Viking. As a matter of fact, the boat was so loaded up with goodies that, water line was awfully high there on the side. And we had an awful lot of the same things. So we figured that on the way home, we'd stop and do some trading. Maybe get rid of some of the bigger, bulkier things and trade it down for smaller things that are easier to carry and don't weigh quite as much. Now, we were just off the coast of Ireland there, and after a while we finally spotted a village and turned in towards the shore. Now, we wanted to make a good impression, so we shined up out of our armor, sharpened out of our weapons. We took the Archie and put him up in the front of the boat with a torch and a horn, and he was blowing away on it so that they would know he was coming in. And sure enough, as we pulled up onto the beach there, they came running right down out of the village. But then things got just a little weird, because as they got right up to the edge of the boat, they started just throwing a bunch of little sacks and pouches and things into it. We weren't exactly sure what was going on, but then Sven finally picked one up and opened it, and it was full of money. Boy, I tell you, we ran around like a bunch of Norman Station sheep at that point, grabbing all those little things up there. But then things got even weirder, because more than half of them folks, after throwing all their stuff into the boat, turned around and ran back up into the village. Seems an awful silly way to do business to me. I mean, we got all their money and they didn't get none of our stuff. Now, the thing that was even more weird was that the fellows that were all left, about half of them just dropped down into their knees on the sand there and started praying and wailing and carrying on, and the rest of them got right up against the front of the boat and shoved us back out in the water. Now, I don't know what the heck that was all about, but I'll tell you what, if they're going to throw money into the boat every time I come by, I'm going to have to go back and visit more often. Yeah, sure, you betcha. Now, as you might have guessed, this is actually a story that has to deal with the first time that me and the boys were ever introduced to the concept of Dane Geld. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, Dane, of course, referring to us, and Geld is a word that means price. So, Dane price. Now, where this custom got started was essentially after a while, folks got to realize they weren't really much of a match for the Norsemen when they landed in places, especially when they landed in numbers. And so they figured if you can't beat them, buy them. And so eventually what started happening was, in a lot of different areas, that as soon as the Vikings would show up, people would just go out there and negotiate, and hopefully they could give them enough stuff to make them go away. Okay? Well, that was your history lesson, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.